I'm joined now by James Early, an expert on U.S.-Cuban relations and the former director of cultural heritage at the Smithsonian. So, James, I want to get right to and ask you about these changes, especially creating a role of prime minister. We know that Diaz-Canel recently became president. Could we see Raul Castro return in a new role?
No, I don't think we will see Raul Castro return in a new role. He is actually now head of the Communist Party as his sole role, which is the guiding political entity in Cuba. So he is concentrated really on that and no longer on looking at the daily responsibilities as head of state or daily responsibilities both domestically or internationally. I think what this reflects is the Cubans are in a continuing process of recalibrating their policies, the relationship between the Communist Party, the government, and the citizen. Diaz-Canel Bermudez, the new president, who was for 5 years vice president under Raul Castro, has focused very much on maintaining the humanistic and social justice principles of socialism. I think behind that is how do you recalibrate against a strict centralism, if you will, towards more of a calibration of citizen agency, citizen activity with enterprises, markets within socialism, the selling of property, the development of industries, sexual identity, and things of that sort.
And that being said, a lot of that has happened under Raul Castro. He brought a lot of these reforms on. But what do you make of recognizing private property? Is it all about supporting these new businesses and these small entrepreneurs? Also, they want to make some reforms to the court system and to the government system, as you mentioned.
I think two fundamental factors are inherent in that. One is that the role of the Communist Party in guiding the government has not produced the kind of economy that gives full equity across the country and development across the country, so that the Communist Party and the government is moving to recognize more the proactivity of the citizen, the imagination, the productivity of the citizen, keeping in mind that Cuba is one of the most educated populations in the entire world, according to the United Nations. So it's not just Cuban propaganda, it's an objective reflection of that. So giving these citizens the latitude to imagine within the context, as they say, the irrevocable nature of socialism, how they would design their lives, I think we're seeing that recalibration and that emphasis on the part of the new president.
A lot of construction happening right now in downtown Havana with people improving their homes and their businesses. But it's been 4 decades since the Constitution was last reformed, amended. What do you make of the timing of this, especially with this leadership change that happened in recent months?
Well, I think the leadership change is significant, but I think behind the leadership change, we should recognize that it was the 6th and 7th Communist Party Congresses way back. Raul Castro came into administration in 2006, was formally elected by the National Assembly in 2008. So this is a process. But the Cubans have been very explicit that while there is a new president, and that is very important, he's 58 years old, he has run 2 provinces, he is very engaged with teachers and sanitation workers out in the streets. He is also a product of the Communist Party. He was selected to be nominated and to be approved unanimously except for 1 vote. And so that this is a process that's continuing. He made very clear in his inauguration speech that Raul Castro, as head of the Communist Party, would be involved in all of the decisive motions within the new development of their economy, within their internal political and external political relations. And that Raul Castro made very clear that if, from the vantage point of the Communist Party, he does well in his job and serves 2 terms of 5 years apiece, he will then become head of the Communist Party. So this is a very structured environment in which flexibility takes place.
James Early, we appreciate your insight. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.